Today in this grammar class, we are going to discuss subject-verb agreement, a crucial area. Subject-verb agreement is one that really stands out. Anybody can notice it. And even if somebody does not have good English, still one can come to know when the others make a mistake in this area. So what is this subject-verb agreement? Let's understand something very simple first. That subject can be subject. Who is subject? What is subject? If we talk about somebody or something, that becomes the subject. So that somebody or something can be the first person also. So first person is I or we. Second person, you. So that's the second person subject. Third person, he, she, it, they. So that's the third person's subject. So first person is I, we, second person is you, and then third person, he, she, it, they. Third person subjects. Now, first person, second person, third person. So how do we have the verb? Let's look at one example of verb, write. Write is the verb. So write, wrote, written, writing, these are different forms of verb. But when we talk about somebody or something in present, so I'm going to say, I write, we write, you write, they write, but he writes. So we put S at the end. When we talk about third person singular subject, he writes, she writes, it writes. Like if I take a pen in my hand, it writes well. Like here the example is of work. So I, we, you, they work, but he, she, it works. So this is where we need to be careful, because this third person singular subject, it's not just he, she, it. If I use everyone, or maybe if I take like this pen, so this pen also becomes the third person singular subject. So this pen, now I cannot say this pen work well, this pen works well. That's the way I should talk about it. Now this sounds to be very simple, but still we go wrong with it. So why do we go wrong? In which areas do we go wrong? Let's understand that. So the basic thing that you need to remember is this, that a verb must agree with its subject. So if the subject with subject, that third person singular subject, right? If the third person subject is singular, then the verb has S ending. So when the subject with subject, we are talking about the third person singular subject. And with this third person subject is plural, then it does not have any S ending. So a decision has been taken. Some decisions have been taken. So a decision, singular. So here we have has. Some decisions, this is plural. So here we have. This is a basic thing that we need to remember. But sometimes what we don't understand is the singular and the plural forms of certain words. This is simple. Child is singular. So we say the child is crying. Children, plural. So one mistake that I have seen many students making is that children's. Children's is not the plural. Singular is child and children is plural. So children love toys. Like if I say my child, so my child loves toys. But when I talk about children, children love toys. So this is what we need to understand, whether the subject is singular or plural, and accordingly make the verb agree with it. But sometimes we do not understand whether the subject is singular or plural. That's what we are going to discuss today. It's there that most of us go wrong. So news, so we cannot say news are. So some nouns are plural in form, but singular in usage. So the news is, so we won't say the news are, the news is. That's the way it is. Ethics is, but the moment we say business ethics, so then business ethics are, medical ethics are. Some nouns are plural in form and plural in usage, like clothes are, ruins are, belongings are. Then you have plural noun and plural in usage also. But news is, ethics is. Now police is singular in form. So we may think, oh, it's a singular subject, but it's not so in English. In English, police is always treated as a plural subject. So the police are here. The police have arrived. The police have taken action. That's the way we talk about it. Similarly, I'm sure most of you must be familiar with the word cattle. And that's one example you must have had in your school days. So the cattle are grazing. It's never is grazing. So poultry is also are. Okay, phenomena, singular is phenomenon and plural is phenomena. And similarly with criteria. So like criterion is the singular form for criteria. Now let's look at the word scissors. So scissors, should I say scissors is or scissors are?
Scissors is.
Scissors is.
Okay, my specs is or my specs are?
Pair of scissors.
Is.
My specs is. Should I say my
Specs
spectacle
on.
is new or my specs are new? What should I say?
Specs
Are.
are is
Yeah.
it is
So the
pair.
things,
The pair.
correct.
My specs is no, no.
No. The things that come in pairs are always treated as plural subjects. Right? All those things that come in pairs are treated as plural subjects. So my specs
Okay.
are. So
Okay,
scissors are. That's the way it should be. Okay, there are some nouns that are treated the same in the same form as singular and plural. For example, species. So it's the same spelling, species. If you're talking about one, then species is. If you talk about more, then the species are. So the endangered species is if you're talking about one, and the endangered species are if you talk about more. So we need to understand whether the noun that we're using or the subject that we are using in the sentence is singular or plural. Accordingly, the verb agrees with it. Now let's look at these. Everyone, okay, I have a message from Arshpreet, yes, police has arrived is wrong. It should be the police have. Police is always taken as a plural subject in English. The police officials have, the policeman has, but the police have. Okay, let's look at these, and I'm going to ask each of you now to participate. And let's start with Anita.
Is. Everyone is.
Everyone is. Good, Anita. So everyone, everybody, everything are singular subjects. Let's look at all.
All are.
All are.
Always? If I say
Yeah.
all water in this glass, so what should I say? All water in this glass have finished or has finished?
Has finished.
Has finished. So
Has
that means
finished.
it depends upon what follows all. So sometimes we talk about countable plural and sometimes we talk about uncountable thing. Water cannot be counted. So then it's treated as a singular one. So all water has, but all students have come. All the guests have arrived. So then it is have. Similarly, we have for some.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yes, Arshpreet, the number of. Give me a sentence using this, the number of. Oh, let's have
a number of people in the society.
No, I want complete sentences. So all of you do this, please. I want 3 sentences. So first of all, let's start with the number of. Give me a sentence in the chat box. You can speak also. I'm giving you all 10 seconds to think the number of and give me complete sentence. And Arshpreet, let's start with you. If you have this sentence, you use this phrase in a sentence, the number of, how are you going to phrase the complete sentence? The number of people.
The number of doctors in the society
But that's not a
have
sentence.
increased. Sentence?
Yes, I need complete sentence. Like Anita has given the number, people are, please share with all participants and attendees so that the others can also see your answers. So the number of people are participated in seminar, no, wrong. I'll just read out everybody's answer. The number of people are greater than the number of trees here. No, this is also wrong. Manmeet, the number of students in my class are 43. No. Harminder, do you want to speak? You have unmuted yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, what do you have to say?
The number of doctors.
But then complete sentence. I need the complete sentence. This is just a phrase, right? Let me see the others also. Okay, Himaja, you've shared one. What's the number of interviewers attended? No, some way it's not making logical sense. I'm transferring the control to you, Himaja.
Yes, ma'am. What is the number of interviews attended for
Fine, this is fine. But if you start the sentence with the number of, I want you to start the sentence with the number of.
okay.
The number of mosquitoes, okay, Arshpreet has given. The number of mosquitoes has increased in the environment recently. All right, Arshpreet, this is correct. The number of something has. The number of students who speak English or who spoke English well, who speak English. Ramya, we need to put it in present. The number of students who speak English well is, the number is less or the number is more. So the number is always singular. Whenever you have this as the subject in your sentence, so the number of something, the number of students, the number of people who came here, or the number of steps taken by the government, the number is
Okay.
has increased. The number has increased, right?
We can say the number of trees in the street are uncountable.
The number of trees in
That's
wrong. The number of trees in the street are uncountable. No, the number cannot be counted. So the number is, trees are, the number is always singular. You won't say the number. This is a wrong way of constructing that. The number of people in the team is 12, Shravana, not are 12. The number is singular. If you start the sentence with the number, then the number is singular.
People is plural, right, ma'am? So
What is plural, Sneha?
people is plural, right?
So the number of people, which people? The number of people who have attended this rally is more than the last year's.
Okay.
The number is more. The number is less.
Yeah.
Right? The number of people in the team, so it's the number. The number is the subject. So the number is 12. So what is the subject? The number. Let's look at the next one, a number of. So how do we have the sentence starting with a number of? Give me that now. Okay, a number. Arshpreet, past tense, singular and plural, both will be the same. So we'll not be able to understand the subject verb agreement issue. So give me a sentence in present tense. A number of students. If I put it in present, like have participated, I won't say has participated. A number of students have participated.
Ma'am, why we need to put in present?
Otherwise, first reason is participated, unless it's understood when, we won't put it in past. And secondly, a number of students participated in the dance event is correct. What are we discussing today? Subject verb agreement. To understand this, we need to frame it in a different way. Otherwise, one participated, more participated, the verb remains the same. So you'll not be able to understand whether it is singular or plural. To understand that, we'll have the sentences in present tense unless the verbs are was or were.
Okay.
Okay, Manmeet has asked how the sentence is wrong. Manmeet, I'll have to go back to your sentence. Where is your
Okay.
sentence? Okay. The number of students in my class. So you said the number of, let me bring Manmeet's sentence over here and I'll explain over here now. Give me a second. So what is the subject over here? Manmeet has just asked me this. Manmeet, the subject is the number of students. The number is the subject. In off phrases, we should be careful. So the number is the subject. So the number of students in my class is, the number is 43. You can say there are 43 students in my class, or the number of students in my class is 43. The number is 43. And then if I put a number of, then how do we put it? A number of students. A number of students are present today. That means many students are. So this is always plural. Okay, I've received some more messages. Let me see. A number of students, no. Anita, then we put it this way. The number of students has increased this year. And let me bring these sentences over here. Here. So when we put it this way, it should be the number of students has increased this year. The number has increased. Like a number of students have enrolled this year, so the number of students has increased. Let's look at a number of people from specific team are selected. Okay, have been selected for the new project. So Himja, a number of people, yes, are, a number of exams is attended by me. No, a number is always plural, Shravana. Let me bring yours over here. So it should be this way. A number of exams have been attended. Now you do not attend exams. You attend classes. You take exams. So a number of exams have been taken by me, or I have taken a number of exams, right? So it should be have been, not attended. Huh? We don't attend the exams, we take the exams. If you were to put it this way. Or a number of classes have been attended by me. So classes are attended. So the number is singular, a number of is plural. Anyone else? Any other example? A number of 100 people were picked from the, no, we won't say a number of then. Just say 100 people. Or the number of people picked from the lucky draw was 100. A number of children are playing in the park. Yes, Ashpreet, this is correct. A number of children are playing. So that is correct. Yes, Ramya?
A number is plural, the number is singular, ma'am.
Correct.
Yes.
So the number of students who have given me the correct answer today, can I say are less? No. So the number of students who have given me the correct answer today is less. The number is less.
Okay, ma'am.
I hope this is clear to everybody. Let's look at one of. Can you give me a sentence now? Starting with one of. A number of people were picked up. Yes, correct, Sneha. This is correct. And all of you, please share your answers with all panelists and attendees. Then only I'll be able to, like, of course, I can read otherwise also, but everyone in this class will be able to read your sentences. One of my friends' marriage has been fixed. One of my friends is very tall. Oh, correct. So after one of, you always put plural.
Ma'am, marriage is not the correct way.
One of my friends.
Yeah, my friends that I missed.
And you put apostrophe after, friends, right?
Okay.
One of my friends' marriage has been fixed.
Okay.
but okay. One of my friends' name is Tanu. Arshpreet, it is never one of one. Friends, plural. It is after one of, in this one of phrase, you should always put a plural noun after of. So one of the best habits, one of my best habits is to get up early in the morning. So Shravnan, one of my best habits is, habit single B. One of my friends, Manjari, we won't say one of my friends. Let me bring Manjari's over here to make everybody understand this. Manjari, I'm bringing your sentence here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it should be one of my friends. Please remember all of it. It's always a plural that's put here. So one of my friends has. So one of my friends has. Okay, now when we say 50% off or 2/3 off.
But you said it's a plural, no, ma'am. One of my friends, if I want to write in the plural, one of.
But what is
One
the
of my
subject,
friend-
Manjari? You need to understand what's the subject. Is the friends the subject or one is the subject?
One.
One is the subject and one is singular.
Yeah, one is singular. Yeah, correct. Right.
That's
One of my friend has got. Yeah,
No,
friends.
one of my friends. Just get into that habit of speaking it correctly. One of my friends has, right? Not one of
Ma'am,
my friends.
Ma'am, we will use one of my friends or one of my friend.
One of my friends, Arshpreet. It is always one of many. It
Okay.
cannot
Ma'am,
be.
we have to put apostrophe S or friends only.
Oh, that one. You're talking about that. Let me bring your sentence here then to explain that. And just a second. So what Arshpreet is asking is this. So Arshpreet, your sentence is this. Now, first of all, one of. Now, this shows that you're just talking about one over here. It cannot be one of my friend. It has to be plural. Apostrophe goes after this. One of my friends' name is Tanu.
Okay, apostrophe after S.
Yes. Like out of all my friends, one has the name Tanu. That's what it
Ma'am, for
means.
students, for everyone after S only, apostrophe S it comes, ma'am.
No, why should you put apostrophe? If it is needed according to the sentence, then only you're going to put apostrophe.
No, I have written one of my students told me about the thing about she's not going to attend the class.
So one of my students told me that, of course, if it is reported the same day, then we have is. If it's reported later on in time, you change it, right? One of my students told me that she was not going to. Yours is correct. It has to be one of my students only.
Okay, that apostrophe S and all not required here.
No. Here not needed.
Only fathers, mothers, uncles, friends.
No, Ramya, only when you have to show the possessive case. Whose is it? Only then you put apostrophe, not otherwise.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, 50% of the employment has increased due to population, unemployment, right? 50% of, not student, Harminder, students. Not read, study. Or join the university, or go to the university for higher education. 50% of the students.
50% of students is plural or singular?
Students, it should be plural. 50% of students. You cannot, out of one, it cannot be 50% from here.
Okay, ma'am. So when 50% is coming, we need to tell plural.
I'm just putting 50% as an example. You can say 20%, 30%, anything. So
Okay.
30% of the students. I cannot say 30% of student. It has to be plural after that. So 50% of seats are reserved for disabled people. Yes, Manmeet. Let me bring your sentence here to explain this to everybody. So this is Manmeet. 50% of seats are, or of the seats are reserved for the disabled people. So 50% of seats. So we put seats over here and not seat. I know only 50% of my lessons. Correct. So similarly, 2/3 of, again, you have plural, but there, if you have uncountable, 50% of the problem, half of the problem, right? 1/3 of the problem. So problem here, we're talking about just that one problem, and out of that, how much has been resolved? So has. Like 50% of the water in this glass has, right? Has been finished. Half of the water, this glass has. So here I won't say have. So if you put uncountable noun after this percentage or after 2/3 or 1/3 of something, then we put it as a singular one. If you put a countable plural, then it is plural. That's how it is taken. Oh yes, Manjari, good one. 50% of the land was occupied or has been occupied by the government. Correct. 50% of employment of government employers are expecting bribe or expect bribe. Okay. Fine. Good. Everybody seems to have understood this. Let's move on to the next one. A group of. Let's have a sentence using a group of, a bunch of, a bouquet of. So how do we have the sentences using this? Go ahead. Are studying well. Ramya, are is also needed if you're putting studying, are studying well. Let's have a group of. Let's have a group of. Give me your sentences using now.
Ma'am?
Yes.
50% of the people, 50% of the people have completed the exam. Is it okay? Is it right, ma'am?
Absolutely right. Let's move on to
50% of the people
have.
Right. But here, have is right. Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Right. Have is, why is have right? Because people, countable, right? You can count them.
Okay.
Now let's move on to a group of and many a student or many a man, many a person, any way you put it. So how do we have that? Okay, a group of students has read together. A group of people has invested in this land. Excuse me, please. So a number of people have, a group of people has, correct? A group of people were joined in the evening class. No. Ramya, this is wrong. Something is wrong with this sentence. Logically, it's wrong. A group of people staying in my apartment is working on a new project.
A group of people,
Wait, Ramya,
plural.
wait, Ramya, I'll just come to yours. Huh? A group of people. People is plural, but group is singular. A group is.
Okay.
So it
A
is
group
the group.
becomes single.
A group is. So Manjari, your sentence, a group of people staying in my apartment is working on this project, right? Or is doing this.
I want to say they are working. A majority of the 10 neighbors are working. Like that, I have to say. In that way, I have to say.
So then you said majority of the people, then don't use a group of. Majority of the people staying in my apartment are working. Put it that way.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, got it.
A group of people were conducting a social activity. No. A group of, we are talking about one group. So that group is, we won't say a group are. So a group of people is conducting a social activity. A group is conducting also. Now let's look at many a student. Are you familiar with this structure? When we use this many a student or many a man?
Many a student means how to phrase a sentence, ma'am?
Many a student is equal to many students.
Okay.
But the subject verb agreement changes. So many a student benefits from what have you put, Arshpreet? Let me bring Arshpreet's sentence now. Many a student have failed in the test today. Okay, let's look at this now. This is Arshpreet's sentence. I'll just bring it over here. Now this sentence is grammatically wrong. Why is it wrong? And I'm going to copy it again to explain the other one also. So sometimes we just want to have a different kind of structure in our essays, or we want to talk about something. Oh, many a man has suffered because of this. So this many a student has. Here, if I put many students, meaning is the same. There is no difference in meaning. Both mean the same. So many a student has failed in the test today. Many students have failed in the test today. They have the same meaning. But if you use many a student, then it should be singular. Many a student has. This is the way we put it. Please remember this. And a common mistake is in speaking, at times we talk about visiting a place. So, oh, I have been there many a times. Wrong. I have been there many a time. So either we say I visited that place many times, or we say I visited that place many a time. So with many, it is singular, many a time, like with many and a, it is singular, many a student or many students. I hope this is clear to everybody.
Two-thirds of.
Wait, let's remain over here. 2/3 is a different one. We've discussed that earlier, Ramya. Many a reason, when we talk about reasons, so many reasons are responsible for this, or many a reason is responsible for this. The project wasn't completed by many a student. Yes, Shravnan, correct. Or by many students. We can put it that way. Now coming back to you, Ramya. Yes, what's the doubt that you have, Ramya?
I think 2/3. I thought you have finished. Not finished.
But you can ask me now also.
Yes,
If I say 2/3 of the students have given me correct answers. And
have plural.
Yes, 2/3 of the students. But if after 2/3 of, I put uncountable now, then 2/3 of the issue, 2/3 of the issue has been resolved.
Is okay.
Right? And here there should be a hyphen over here in between. Then only it can be correct, right?
Yes, ma'am. Student. So 2/3 of students we have to say, no, plural.
No, it cannot be 2/3 of. It has to be 2/3 of.
Okay, 2/3 of students we need to say. If it's uncountable thing means we have to say 2/3.
No. Uncountable also 2/3 of.
2/3 of, but it singular.
The subject becomes singular then.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Like 2/3 of the syllabus has been finished.
Okay.
You all to answer these, and let's start with Dipender. Yes, Dipender, the first one, give the answer for that.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Dipendra. The first one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm trying. Most of the workers in that company come from the Chicago area.
Correct. So it should be come and not comes. Shravana?
Should I try next one?
No. Let's have Shravana. Second.
Shara has 6 brothers. Shara have 6 brothers.
What is the subject, Shravana?
Brothers,
Shara is the
6
subject.
brothers.
So Shara is singular or plural? Singular. So Shara has 6 brothers. So it has to be has. Okay, Sneha, the third one.
My brother and I spend a lot of money.
My brother and I spend. Correct. So it has to be spent. So Himaja, fourth.
The team is very good.
The team is very good. So the team can be sometimes you might hear the audience is, the audience are, the team is, the team are. When do we have that? When we talk about the members of the team. So in English, then it can be treated as a plural subject if the reference is to the members of the team. The team are divided. So one unit is not divided, the members of the team are divided. So we won't say the team is divided. In English, we don't put it that way. The team are divided. That means the members of the team are divided. But the team is ready, the team is good. So if you have that kind of verbs which refer to the members, which talk about the individuals, many can, like the jury, if you talk about the jury has given its verdict, a very common sentence. So, but if the jury are divided in the verdict, that means the jury have different opinion. The jury have different views regarding this. So we cannot say the jury has different views. So we are talking about the members of the jury then. So this is another thing you might come across even when you read at times singular or plural. Okay, so 2 hours is, now whenever we talk about 2 hours is 5 minutes, so I can say 5 minutes are needed, 2 hours are needed for this work. But if we refer to, how much amount, if the reference to it is the amount, how much time is needed?
So, ma'am,
Yes, Anita?
can we use or are also?
No, here we cannot say 2 hours are the perfect length. Here we are referring to the length.
Okay.
Right? So 2 hours is the perfect length. Now, if I say 10 kilometers are left, we are yet to cover 10 kilometers more. So 10 kilometers is not much. We are looking at the distance, but 10 kilometers are still left. 500 rupees, I cannot say 500 rupees is needed to buy this, maybe this. Okay, 500 rupees are needed to buy this cake. But I cannot say 500 rupees is needed to buy this cake.
But ma'am, can we say in this sense like a note of 500?
I need a note of 500. Yes, we can put that. But then we can say, oh, 500 rupees is not a big amount. Now the reference is what?
Amount.
Right. 500 rupees is not much money. So
Okay,
then we treat the same thing as singular. Okay, my mother's advice. Let's look at this. Yes, Anita, give this answer.
My mother's advice is.
Is. So we have uncountable nouns. So uncountable noun, advice is uncountable. So you do not treat it as a plural subject. It's a singular. Advice is. We won't say advice are, and it won't even become advices. Advice is. Now let's move on to the next one. 6 people. Yes, Ramya, give the answer.
6 people, they live in that small house.
6 people live, right?
Ma'am, I didn't understand about the hours time, ma'am. 2 hours is.
So we won't say 2 hours is needed. 2 hours is needed to complete this class. Then I'm going to say 2 hours are needed to complete this class. But if I talk about the length, here the reference is to the length, the amount, right? So 2
Yes,
hours, I cannot say 2 hours are the perfect length. 2 hours is the perfect length. We are looking at the length of time, right? How much time? So then it
Yes,
becomes 2 hours is. So the same
Yes.
thing can be used as plural also and singular also. If the reference is, how much. If how many, then plural. How much, singular. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, when we talk about advice, so if lot of people are giving suggestions or advice, though, then we can use are.
No. Then you say, I have received some advice from everyone here, right?
Advice cannot be in plural.
No. A piece of advice, some advice, that way you put it.
Okay.
Right? Now, 6 people live in that small house. All right. Mathematics. Himaja?
Yes, ma'am.
Complete that sentence. Mathematics.
Mathematics is very difficult for people with the math phobia.
Correct. Mathematics is. Now the next one.
The police make many arrests on Saturday nights.
Correct. So the police make. The police is always treated as a plural subject.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on. Now I'll be asking the others. Let me move on to them. Manmeet, let's have the first one. 6 miles are a long way to walk to school. So Manmeet, I explained something some time back, what Rami also asked me, long way. This is what we are referring to this time. So when you have a reference of this kind, like how much is it to walk to school? So it cannot be 6 miles are a long way to walk to school. It has to be 6. How much is this distance? It's a long way. So 6 miles is a long way to walk to school. So we put is over here and not are. Now let's move on to the next one. Yes, Kirandeep, the group. Oh, no. Arshpreet, the group.
The group is very large.
The group is very large, right? Depend through the next one, third.
The jackets and the gloves is on the table.
Now, do they both refer to one thing or two different things?
To two different things.
So then
So
the jackets and the gloves are.
The jackets and the gloves are on the table. Yeah.
It should be are. Now, another of the same kind. And this time, let me ask Ramya. Yes, Ramya. Fourth. And read the complete sentence, Ramya.
Yes, ma'am. $900 higher amount. So $900 is a very higher rent for the toll bill.
Very good. Perfect. I'm so happy. So you've understood it. Good, Ramya.
Yes, thank you.
You've understood. So we're referring to the amount. Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Shravnan, the next one.
Yes, ma'am. 50% of the book dash about the vice. 50% of the book are about the vice president.
See, this book is not plural.
Okay.
It's not that book and books that way. One book only, and we are looking at the content of that book. So 50% of the book.
50% of the book is about the
vice president, right? Here it has to be is.
Here, how to make a question about how, ma'am?
See, 50% of the books are. Then I'm talking about, oh, I've got so many books and 50% of these books are about the vice president. Now I take just one book. So in that one book, I'm referring to the content. So I cannot say 50% of the content are, the 50% of the book are. It has to be 50% of the book is. That means this book is about this person. The book is about somebody. Are you getting it, Sharna?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Your okay does not convey to me that yes.
Ma'am, what is the subject? Subject answers a question, whom or how, right?
But see, we have to understand when we have subjects of this kind. Let's talk about, instead of book, let me put another word over here, answer. So what will you say? 50% of the answer are or 50% of the answer is?
50% of the answer. Answer is yes, but in actually generally the subject, not all the sentences, not all the subject of the sentences will give the question. Give the answer like that, right?
Sharnan, just complete my sentence. 50% of the answer is or 50% of the answer are?
Answer is, because one answer.
Is one answer. Now 50% of the book. Book is one book or many books?
It is one book.
One book. So 50% of the
one
book is or
if
are?
There is, book is about the vice president.
Getting it now? So that book has probably many chapters. And out of whatever has been written in that book, 50% is about the vice president. Are you getting it now? That's how it is. Okay, every student in the class, let me ask a different person now. Yes, Neha, Every student in the class
Speaks a different language.
speaks a different language, correct? Okay, Sneha,
One of my favorite meals is chicken and rice.
correct, is. So one of my favorite, it is one, is. Now, who would like to answer the next one? Eighth. Anyone? Yes,
Three
Hilda?
fourths of the flowers in the garden are wrong.
Correct.
Ma'am, I have one doubt in the first sentence. So here in the first sentence, 6 miles is a long way, right? So can we use 6 miles or still needed to complete the journey?
Oh,
So in that place, R is correct.
6 miles are still left to complete the journey. Huh? Correct. 6 miles are still left to complete the journey. Yes. In my childhood, I lived in a village and I used to walk to school. It was about 10 miles from my house. And well, 10 miles was quite a long way for me to walk to school, right?
Okay.
I won't say a word then. Okay, one of the children. Who would like to answer this?
Me,
One
I.
of the children is sick today.
Very good. One of the children is sick today. Correct.
Ma'am, next I will tell now.
All right, Ramya.
The news is always bad on weekends.
Correct. The news is good. Let's move on to some other rules. So let me explain a few things and after that I'll be asking you all again. So when we join two subjects using and, does it become plural or does it remain singular? So gold
Plural,
and
ma'am.
so let's understand that gold and silver, two subjects, have become very expensive now. But when we talk about something that's considered as one, like the horse and the carriage, we won't say the horse and the carriage are ready. The horse and the carriage is ready. Rice and fish curry is the staple diet of people living in the coastal areas. I won't say are. Similarly, bread and butter is the staple diet of many in Europe. So is. So when the reference is to just one thing. Now, many of my friends and my neighbor. So it becomes a plural subject. So it has to be are. Sometimes we connect these subjects using if I say a, I put, and I talk about someone, maybe let's put probably a writer and poet. In my neighborhood. So what should I put? Lives or live?
Live.
Live, ma'am.
It's a live, singular.
Okay. Now if I put like this,
Lives.
and a poet.
A writer and a poet lives in my neighborhood.
Lives, L-I-V-E-S.
Please understand this difference. Understand this difference? Here, this refers to one person. So a writer and poet lives. That means is the same person who is a writer also and a poet also. A writer and a poet.
A writer and a poet
Live.
Two persons now. Live. So live.
Live in my neighborhood. So when you put these articles, just take care of this. Now sometimes.
Ma'am, can you repeat once again the other one?
Okay. If I say, right, an actor and a producer, right, were felicitated yesterday in the function or was felicitated yesterday in the function? Felicitated means when you give honor. So what did I say? An actor and a producer.
Where?
When I say an actor and a producer, I mean two different people.
Okay, but he used live, right? We have to use lives, right? There are two persons.
I'm giving you a different example. here, I'll write it over here. If I put an actor and a producer, a film producer, that's what we mean. An actor and a producer was or were felicitated in the function today. What should it be? Was felicitated or were felicitated?
Were felicitated.
Were, because we are talking about two different persons. But if I make it this, an actor and producer, now what should it be? Was felicitated or were felicitated?
Was felicitated.
Was. This is what you need to understand. So sometimes we do not take much care of the article. Please be careful. It can make so much of difference.
Ma'am.
The agreement can go wrong. Yes, Shravan?
Ma'am, can you show that last slide in that last sentence? Just one doubt, ma'am. Could you show me that last slide?
Sure, I can go to that. Just wait. Let me. Yes.
Ma'am, in this, many of my friends and my neighbors are coming in the evening, right? Neighbors should be written, right, ma'am?
No, but I'm talking about
neighbor, or
maybe I've got just one neighbor, so it can be neighbor also. This was just to.
But we have mentioned many.
So that means many
So,
of my
okay.
friends are coming.
Here,
One subject.
Many of my friends are. Okay.
Yes, Ravnan, go ahead. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Many of my friends is a separate sentence. Separate subject, and my neighbor is another subject, right?
Correct.
So as we are mentioning, many is not for both friends and neighbor, right?
No, because we put my over here. That's why. So many of my, now here also you say, so many of my friends, and it is not many of my friends and many of my neighbors, many of my friends and my neighbor. So it's not that many of my friends and my neighbors. I'm not referring to all, right? Here, this was just given to make us understand that if this is singular, then we need to take, this verb does not agree with this. Verb agrees with both. We need to take care of that.
Ma'am,
right?
if we have more than one neighbors,
then also it will be the same. Many of my friends and my neighbors are coming.
in this.
Ma'am, we cannot use many of my neighbor and my friends in opposite way.
No, you'll have to put many of my neighbors.
Okay.
Now, Shravnan, coming back to that, why it's not referring to neighbors over here? Because many of my friends and neighbors. So then my won't come if you're going to put neighbors, right? Shravnan, you were the one to ask me, right? I hope that's clear. Shall I continue? So this is where we were now. Okay. So coming to this, the manager along with the recruits, with the new recruits. So what do we have to remember? See, sometimes you all use such words together with, along with, as well as in your essays. You connect two subjects using them. So just remember how the subject verb agreement is when you use such connecting words. The verb always agrees with the first subject, whatever it may be. So the manager is singular. So the manager along with the new recruits was. In case I change the order of the subjects and I say the new recruits along with the manager, then it will be were. So the verb agrees with the first subject when you join two subjects using as well as, together with, along with, all such words and phrases. So here Sheila, again, singular, as well as her children is going, because this agrees with this. So the government, as well as the citizens, the government as well as the people living in this country, or as well as the people of this organization, the employees of this organization. The government is singular. So the verb agrees with the government. The government is. I hope this is clear to everybody. The verb agrees with the first subject, whatever it may be, singular or plural. Sometimes we join subjects using either or, neither nor. Then how do we have the subject verb agreement? So when you use such words, either, neither, like it can be pronounced, of course, as either and neither also. Both are correct. So I'm also correct. So either he or his friend. So which is the subject that's closer to verb? Is here both are of same. And both are same. He, his friend, so has done it. Now, in case we change it, one is singular and one plural. First thing to remember is that place the plural subject next to the verb. So neither the teacher nor the students want to see this movie. So this goes with students. We should not frame the sentence like this. Neither the students nor the teacher wants. No. If you have one singular subject and one plural subject, the plural subject should be placed next to the verb. And the verb always agrees with the subject close to it. So neither you nor I am going to do this. Which is closer to the verb? I. So subjects of different persons. Let's look at this. Either you or he has done it. Why? Because he is closer to this. So neither my friend nor I are responsible for this. Wrong. Neither my friend nor I am responsible for this. Or neither, we have such things in the essays. Neither the government nor the private companies have done anything about it. So whatever subject is closer to the verb agrees with that. Let's move on to the next one. There are long phrases, and it's over here that the problem arises.
Ma'am?
Yes, Himja?
Can you explain the second one once again?
In the previous one?
Yeah, previous one.
Do you remember the sentence?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Neither neither the teacher or the students.
So neither Himja nor the other students have shown, if I say have shown interest in it.
Want to see the movies.
Okay, want to see the movie or have shown interest in the movie. Neither Himja nor the other students have.
Okay. If I write in opposite way, that is also correct? Like neither students?
No. Logically, it's not correct. When you neither nor, when you use these words to connect two subjects, plural should be placed next to the verb.
Okay.
Right?
Ma'am, can you explain once again? I didn't understand, ma'am. Now, singular means we should use either.
Ramya is singular. Wait, Ramya is singular? So
yes, ma'am.
Either Ramya or her friends.
Yes, ma'am. That is either. Okay. Either.
Either Ramya or her friends are responsible for it. I won't say is responsible for it. Then I should not say either Ramya's friends or Ramya is. That is a wrong way of putting it. Put the plural subject next to the verb.
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
So, yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you have 1 minute to think of your answers over here, since you're writing, we can put the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There are 5 of them. Yes, Neha, the first one.
The fragrance of flowers was the main attraction for the visitors.
And why so? Because the subject is fragrance.
The smell of the stale food.
The smell of
the smell of the stale food and onions were unbearable. Was unbearable.
So which
stale food and
Both are there, ma'am. So the smell of the stale food and onions were unbearable.
Okay, you've given your answer. Now let me ask others. Arshpreet, you've also put your answer. So why have you put was over there, Arshpreet? Please explain. Ramya said were.
Smell is singular.
Correct. And the subject is smell. This is the subject. Smell was unbearable. Ramya, so it cannot be were.
Ah, okay, ma'am. Okay.
We're talking about smell, right? We're talking about the smell of these.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yes.
Let's move on to the third one. And let me ask Sharvanan.
Everything except the dress of the bride are ready.
Okay, Anita, the same one, please answer. Okay, everybody is not able to unmute. Manjari?
Yeah, everything except the dress of the bride are ready.
Let me ask one more. Dipendra?
Yes, ma'am.
The third one, Dipendra?
Everything except the ideas of the, everything except the dress of the
bride
is ready.
Why now? Why is Dipend's answer ready? Like why is Dipend's answer correct? Why is it correct? Because we are talking about everything, everyone, everybody, everything, nobody, nothing. All these are singular subjects. Please remember, everyone is, everything is.
So am I right, ma'am?
Yes, Dipendra, you are the only one who's correct. So everything except the dress of the bride is ready. So everything except this, everything is ready.
But in the meaning of that sentence, it looks like other things will be considered as plural and the bride dress is a singular, right?
No, Himaja, we are talking about everything. Everything is ready. Everything is ready. Leave this. Everything is ready. This is just in between. Everything except the dress of the bride is ready. Still the subject is what? Everything. Everything is ready.
But in everything we get so many things, right?
But everything is, then everyone also, there are so many people, but everyone is treated as a singular subject. Everyone is. Everyone have.
Okay.
Everyone has.
Okay.
Is it clear to everybody? So when you use the word everyone in your essays, when you use the word everything in your essays, please remember these are singular subjects. Okay, the next one.
This result.
Wait, Ramya. Let me ask somebody else. You've already answered. Let me ask someone who's not answered so far. Anita?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
The result of unplanned steps taken by the organization, even though they were to help the employees, was not favorable.
Good. We are talking about
the result.
This is the subject. The result was not favorable. Is this clear to everybody? Always look at whenever you have the verb, what is the subject? Please remember what you're talking about and make the verb agree with it. Okay, the next one, fifth. Anyone who's not answered?
I will answer, Sanita.
Manjari, go ahead.
Yeah, this is one of the several reasons that is responsible for the present state of the country.
Okay, the answer is not correct.
But this is one, right? One of the subject is, this is one, right?
But before that, also, this is one of the several reasons. You got something else also after it. This is one of the several reasons that you got another clause. There are these clauses in the sentences. Different clauses are there. This is one of the several reasons. One clause, a mini sentence we can call it. So that refers to what? That
reasons.
Reasons. So reasons plural or singular?
Plural. Yeah. Okay.
Plural. So what should it be then?
I are responsible. So I considered one of the several reasons. So I
This
didn't
is
check
the
that.
most common mistake that I come across when I correct essays. This is one of
Yeah.
several reasons that are.
Several.
Ma'am, but finally here we are talking about one reason from several reasons, right?
No, Himaja. We are talking here. This is one of the. We are talking. Okay, this is one of the several reasons. Which reasons that are responsible? That goes back to reasons. So when you have different clauses, in the previous examples that I gave you, one of my friends is here, right? One of my friends who live in Delhi, right? Which friends? One of my friends who live, then the sentence will be different, right?
Okay, if that is not there means then one of the several reasons is responsible.
One of the several reasons is responsible. Now here, okay, in that case, we won't even put this is, right? So
Okay.
this is one of the several reasons that are responsible. Like I can say, you are one of those students who have a doubt in this. I cannot say you are one of those students who has a doubt. You are one of those students with students who have a doubt in this.
Okay.
Right?
If that is not there means it is no ma'am. This is one of the several reasons.
No, is can come only if I say one of the several reasons is.
Okay.
This,
Okay.
right? Or if I say this is the only one, right? Let me reframe it. This is the only one. Look at this now. This is the only one of the several reasons that is responsible. You're the only one of the students who has asked me this question. So when you put this, the only one, then the reference is to this only.
Yes, as ma'am.
Right? Without this, we are referring to this. So whenever you put this kind of clauses in your sentences, whenever you have such sentences, just take a note of it. If you do not understand, please clarify. Right?
Yes, ma'am. That fourth one actually the result of unplanned steps taken by the organization. Even though already they had given, even though they were means some 2-3 results, no ma'am. They were to help the employees.
Now
Then
there's a comma over here. Ramya, do you notice? There's a comma here. Even though they were, this they goes back to these steps.
or
Even though they were to help the employees. The result,
step to help the employees.
The result was, okay?
Result was okay. Yes, ma'am.
So when you review your essays, this is what you should review. Because we get such long sentences at times. So where is the subject? Where is the verb? That should be.
Yes,
now, sometimes clauses become the subjects. So clauses become the subject. Let me just erase this. See now, what is the subject over here? What we need. This is the subject. So when you have what I require, what we need, suppose we are talking about some steps to be taken or some solution for any problem, maybe unemployment is the problem. So what we need in our country or what we need across the world. If you're talking about one thing, then it will be is. So what we need is concrete steps or are concrete steps. Look at
yes, ma'am.
No, look at this. We are talking
Steps.
about
Steps means are okay.
So what we need are concrete steps. What we need is, if I talk about
step.
Let me finish, Ramya.
Yes, ma'am.
What we need is a stringent rule. We are talking about one. What we need are some stringent rules. So if you put plural over here, accordingly, this is are. If you put singular over here, then this is. What we need is this. What we need are those things. Now let's look at the next one. What used to be a children's park and a car park now. So here we've got a singular one. So
is
the children's park is a car park now. Correct, Harminder? Now let's look at the next type of clause that becomes the subject. That children learn more from their friends. This type of clause is singular. That children learn more from their friends is the notion of many. We cannot say that children learn more from their friends or the notion of many. That children learn more from their friends is the notion of many. Because it is just one thing that we are talking about. That such sentences should trouble you is a matter of concern for me. So is a matter of concern. What is a matter of concern? That such sentences should trouble you. So sometimes we make the clauses also as the subjects to show range of a grammar. That's one area, grammatical range and accuracy. So try to have this kind of sentences also in your essays, even when you speak about something. And then let's see where you go wrong, and that can be discussed. Please complete these sentences in any way you feel like. These are just the beginning. And choose one or two of these and give me the complete sentence in the chat box. And a common mistake that is made is a comma is put after that in such sentences. Please remember, no comma over here. You should not put a comma after that in all such sentences. Okay, I've got one from Sneha, right? So there's a widespread belief that women are weak. However, it is not so, huh?
Yeah, I don't mean that.
So people think of empowering women. Okay, there's a widespread belief, Shavna, not belief that marks decide the future of a student. Oh, good, very good. Let's have the others also. So Shavna, just change belief to belief.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead. You've got just Ashpreet, Indians are materialistic. Oh, you've given the endings of these. Ashpreet, why don't you read yours? You've given for all. Go ahead.
There is a widespread belief that ghosts exist.
Great. Now, ghost, you put singular over here. So
Ghosts
exist. Ghosts exist. Okay, next one.
Okay. There is a common misconception that Indians are materialistic.
All right. Okay, next.
It is formally acknowledged that pencils are necessary for IELTS exam.
All right. Okay. The others, Ramya, which one? There is a widespread belief that population growth is the major problem in our country. All right, good one. Widespread belief that kids are hyperactive when they see toys. Okay, kids become, if you're talking about this, kids become hyperactive. Good. There is no issue in the project by the client or given by the client. Good. So I think this is clear to everybody. Most of you have given correct sentences over here. Okay, one more. There's a common misconception that CAA is not in favor of Indians. Oh yes, Sneha. That's why so much of across the country. Good. So let's move on then. I hope this is clear to everybody. Let's look at the next one. I've taken these sentences from some essays written by students. So you have to fill in the blanks with an appropriate verb. Think of both and put your answer in the chat box. In conclusion, although online representation of culture and history. So subject over here is representation. Good. Representation, this is the subject. So we put is over here, is a good way. We cannot say are. Very good. Let's move on to the next one. However, teaching through interactions, discussions, experiments, and activities. Now, what is the subject over here?
Teaching.
Teaching.
Is, has.
So has its own significance. We cannot say is its own significance, has its own significance. Correct. Good. So the second one, we have the word has its own significance. Because the subject is teaching, and here the subject is representation. Good. Let's move on. Please correct these two sentences. These also taken from the essays. Put your answers in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I'll ask you. Sneha, go ahead, unmute and explain, please.
Yeah, so this solution not only reduces the traffic on the roads, but also reduces the number of accidents. Because it has the number of, then it should be reduces.
Oh, no, not because of that reason. Where is the subject for this? This is the verb, not only but also, correlative conjunctions. So here you've got verb, there also you've got verb. There's a common subject for both. What is the subject? Solution is right. So this solution not only reduces, but also reduces the number. Subject is this solution. That's why it becomes reduces.
Yeah.
Clear to everybody?
Ma'am, roads, road is it okay? Roads they've written.
No, I'm not able to understand this.
Okay, Himaja. Roads is correct. That is correct.
Correct, okay.
We are looking at the subject verb agreement, Ramya.
Okay, ma'am.
Sometimes we use correlative conjunction. Which ones? Not only but also. Now this not only, let me just give it to you over here. Not only and but also. If you put a verb over here, now subject is, let's talk about something else. Okay. If we talk about this, not only helps you, because the subject is this. So this not only helps you in buying things online, let's talk about a credit card, right? So this not only helps you in buying things online, but also, complete the sentence. What should I put, Himaja?
This.
A credit card. Now I'm changing it. A credit card
Only helps you buying things online.
Sorry, please repeat.
A credit card not only helps you in buying things online, but also we can.
What else does it do?
We can also use outside. Also, we can take loan from there. But
so
this sentence.
Wait, Himjas. So what should I put? It helps you in this. So credit card helps you in buying things online, and it helps you in what else? Yes, it helps you in. Anybody else would like to help Himja?
Immediate notes.
In what? Go ahead.
Immediate liquid cash, but also immediate liquid cash.
Helps.
Yeah, but also provides liquid cash.
Very good.
Helps in
provides maybe some financial support or whatever it is, or provides liquid cash. Anyway, you can put it. So do you notice now, Himja, a credit card not only helps, we have put helps, right?
Okay.
But also provides. Now, can I make it provide? If I put provide over here, the sentence is wrong.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So for provides also the subject is credit card. For helps also the subject is credit card. Now here, both places we've got the same verb, reduce.
Okay.
What reduces? The solution reduces the traffic on the roads and it reduces the number of accidents, right?
Okay.
Ma'am, this solution is not also we can write, no, ma'am. The solution is not only reduces the traffic, also we can
No, wrong.
Solution is the result. Problem solving.
We cannot say the solution is not only reduces. That is a wrong sentence.
The solution not only reduces.
Wrong sentence from here. We cannot put it. I cannot say I am teach. Can I say that? No.
No.
That's the wrong way of putting it.
Okay, so directly we can put the solution not only reduces. Okay.
Is not needed over there when you have the action verb.
Okay.
Right. So we've discussed a few things. First of all, be aware of what? The clause that you have in your sentences. The clause or the clauses. Accordingly, look at the subject verb. Where is the verb and where is the subject for it, right? Match the verb in each clause with its subject. So this is where the things go wrong. And understand the true subject of each clause in a sentence. That's what is needed.